YouTube, what it do? Trey out here, and today I'm going to show you guys a strategy, the same strategy I've been showing you every single day, man. You know, that consistently works for the most part. You know, not every strategy you do, or any strategy for that matter, is going to work every single time. Let's just put it that way. You know, there's a lot of people on here, these gurus online, they do this strategy and you're gonna win every time. You're not gonna win every time, man. You know, it's part of the process, and even the best traders in the world lose, and that's something that I even had to dig in my own head, you know, especially in the beginning. You know, when you're just starting, man, you're gonna lose and you're gonna have great days, you're gonna have bad days. You know, that's what I love about making my videos. I can come on here and tell you I'm not selling you a course. I'm just showing you what I've done to make it, you know, and what I do to win. Not every time, you know, and I'm very upfront with you guys. I ain't selling you no damn course. I ain't telling you that I'm a guru and I'm gonna change your life forever. I'm just gonna show you a strategy that works consistently, and you know, there's a lot of things that are gonna, differentiate that, win or loss, which, you know, meaning confluence, things like that, that I've been teaching you guys. I'm gonna teach you guys for a long time. As many videos as I can, we're gonna talk about confluence. We're gonna talk about how the strategy works versus the days it doesn't, why it doesn't work, etc. Right? But number one, this is NinjaTrader for anyone wanting to know what app I use, you know, or what site I should use. It's normally NinjaTrader. Sometimes, you know, I do have a Top Step account, so I don't really show those ones, but I do normally show you guys through the site called NinjaTrader. One of my favorite platforms. It's what I've been using for a long time. Even when I did my demo, I did NinjaTrader, you know, and if you guys are just getting into it, I recommend going on a demo account. It's like 12 bucks for the market data or whatever. Just do it. It's 12 bucks, and you get to use fake numbers. It kind of gets you warmed up to the real market and, you know, what you're going to see, your losses, your wins, etc. So let's get into this, all right? So what I do, and, you know, what you could do if you wanted to not listen to a guru, if you want to listen to someone who's not a financial advisor, if you want to listen to a num-num like me who's just winning and showing you guys what works, all right? I use a 15-minute orb strategy, okay? And it's the easiest strategy that I've come up with to date. No, I didn't come up with it. Obviously, someone else did. It's been used for a long time. Again, it has to have confluence to it too. But we use a 15-minute orb strategy, which is basically the easiest, simplest one I've found so far, okay? And you combine it with everything else you learn, okay? So you're going to learn about fair value gaps. You're going to learn about liquidity. The market is just moving up and down. You know what I mean? It's going to move in a trend. Sometimes it's going to, just go back and forth, you know, consolidate. Sometimes it's going to do that. And we have to know when to stay out of the market. We have to know when to jump in the market. And that's the thing. There's so much to learn, and like I'm still learning right now, man. You know, there's a lot to learn in the market. It's a long process. You got to learn different things. Your psychology is going to mess you up a million times, and eventually everything will click. You don't know when, it just will. Okay. So number one, we have the high and the low. Okay. So if you guys are new to NinjaTrader, you know, this is your time intervals right here, and this is for example, right? You see these candlesticks. You got to learn about candlesticks, okay? You know, and I'm planning on making a video about that. I still have not done that, so I apologize. Candlesticks are these, okay? It's pretty easy, pretty simple. For let's just say for what we're using, we're gonna go to the 15 minutes, okay? So I start at 9:30 in the morning. Tell you guys this every single video, okay? So if you are watching this and you're still listening, please make sure to smash that like button, by the way, so you can get to more people. That's all I ask. I don't want your money, but I do want to like and subscribe. All right, but so we have the lower low and the higher high. This is a 15-minute candlestick, okay? So this is from 9:30 to 9:45. What I do is I wait for a closure of this candle going on to the next candle, okay? So you'll see the new one forming after 15 minutes. We take the low, we put a line, put the high, take a line, okay? So this is your higher high, lower low in that 15-minute time frame, okay? Then what we do is we take the 5-minute. Okay, this is this consistently works, man. I'm telling you. Other than like I'll show you guys on some days that, you know, it does a 360, right? But what we like to see is a closure underneath that lower low. So obviously you guys see that line, that was a lower low. We want a closure on the 5-minute candle underneath a lower low or on top of a higher high. Okay, so as you guys can see, we have a complete and utter closure on the lower low. Now, what you should have done, you know, my strategy would say is to wait for this second candle, okay? So we wait for the second candle to see what it was doing. This morning it did confuse me a little bit because it started a green candle in the first 5 minutes. Ended up going in right here for a put. That's what happened, okay? It's because I saw that it was kind of, I try to wait 4 minutes into this second candle, 3 to 4 minutes, just because sometimes it will be green and all of a sudden it'll be red. And sometimes it will be green and come right up past this and it's a buy. You know what I mean? It happens. That's what happened yesterday, if I recall. So you have to really look at this second candle, and that's why I'm saying, like, there's no strategy that's going to make you 100% profitable. You know, there's no strategy that every single time you click that buy or sell button, it's going to work out. You know, and like we have to have confluence for our trades. We have to have reasoning for why we're making our trades. If you had waited, right, you saw this green candle, you saw it coming up here and started to shut down, and you jumped in right here, you would have made a lot of money coming down to this next line of liquidity, okay? So that's another thing we're going to be talking about, right? Liquidity. What is liquidity? It is orders in the market. It is your orders. You are the liquidity. I'm the liquidity. When I lose like a bastard, it's me. I'm the liquidity. You know, and like that's what the market is constantly trying to get, whether it's moving up or whether it's moving down. You know, that's why you see these like big bursts of going to grab something. You're like, oh, holy moly, it's going up to grab something. It's going up or it's going down to grab liquidity. And that's something you got to learn about too. And that's really going to help you with like, you know, being able to hold your trades and knowing potentially where it's going, you know. Some days are great. Like yesterday was absolutely amazing. It was a buy for pretty much the whole time I was doing it. It was great, amazing trading day. You know, I held my trade as long as I could, but a lot of days are not like that, you know, and like that's something I've really realized lately. There's a lot of days in the market that just are not going to go in your favor, and it's about your wins, not your losses, okay? So if you can make a $1,500, $2,000 day and keep your losses at a minimum, then that's great. And there's some days where you don't enter at all, but if you did enter right here, you would have made some serious money. Why? Because we saw again that the closure was underneath that line, which means my strategy is saying we're going to continue downwards. Does that mean that the market is telling us it's going to continue moving downwards? No, it doesn't. You know, like I told you, some days you'll see this buy and it will go flying back up to this higher high. And that's why we wait. Like sometimes it will come up to this higher high and continue moving upwards. And that's where we were going for a buy right here, right? And why? Because as you obviously have seen that the market has done a 360, a breakup structure. It's breaking through that lower low and it's going to the higher high. You know, which means it's probably going to continue upwards. And sometimes, again, it's all preference based as far as when you want to make your buys and put, you know, buys and sells. The market is a hard game, you know, and that's why I try to tell everyone out here, you know, watching these videos that, you know, if this is a strategy that it works, it clicks easily, it gives you more confidence, you know, when you're able to just say, hey, you know what, market's moving down, I'm going to put my, you know, put right here, I'm going to put my stop loss right up here, right? So if you had a stop loss right there and you put a buy, put it in right there, you would have been absolutely okay in that trade. You know, it would have kept going down. You could have put in your take profit like $1,000, whatever it is that you want to do. Some people it's 500, some people it's 1,000. Again, I am not a guru. I'm not an advisor. You do whatever the hell you want to do at the end of the day. Strategy works, man, consistently, and I want you guys to know that it's possible. You know, and like a lot of people out here are suffering with finances and suffering with money, and you know, this is a game changer, man. It's gonna take you time, you know, and like that's why a lot of people won't tell you is they're gonna sit and lie, and you can say that you're gonna do this in a month or, you know, 3 weeks. And while there might be someone who is lucky to do that, majority of you are not going to do that. You know, you're going to have your wins, you're going to have your losses, and like you have to realize in your head that it's okay to have those. I lose. My friends lose. The people that I trade with lose. It happens. It's part of the process, okay? And you know, sometimes, like even right here, like there's parts of me that want to go in for a buy right here still. You know why? Because I've been watching the market for the past few days, right? But we also have to use complete consolidation, and that's why confluence, I meant to say, meaning, you know, we wait for those 3 or 4 minutes into that second candle after the closure to see really what's happening, right? So if you knew dang well, okay, we see a big red candle continuing, put a put in, and you know, at the end of the day, if it had continued moving upwards, you would have gotten stomped out, you move on with your day. You know, majority of days this works out, you know, and sometimes like I've been noticing in the market the past few weeks, this will be a complete green candle and you can just go in for a buy right there because it's continuing moving upwards. It's been a really weird market lately, I'm not gonna lie, you know, it's been strange. And it's about looking at this too. I wanted to add that as well, you know, and today was the indicators knowing that it was going to continue downwards was that it was a 4-hour bearish candle, a daily bearish candle, meaning it was the trend was down, you know, and that's what helped me make my decision this morning, you know. So it's the same thing with like a normal green day. If it's like up $300, is it really going to continue is it going to go downwards? Probably not, you know. Like even right now, if we're looking at it, what's going to happen at this lower low, you know, down here where the lower low was right here? I'm assuming it's going to continue downwards. Does that mean it's going to continue to happen? I have no idea. We're already down $300. Again, we don't know the market. We just take guesses, the best educated guesses that we can based off what the market is telling us, okay? That's it. You're not in charge of the market. You're not going to make the market do something. It's not going to happen, you know, and get that out of your head. That's what helped me a lot. Realizing that we are not in control of this market. We can only make the best choices we can and, you know, give the rest to the Lord, okay? So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more of this content, you want to learn more about trading, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you do not miss out on these videos. And I'll see you guys on the next video.